Welcome to Vacuum Wars, and to our best robot vacuum video for 2022. We've put over 70 robot vacuums to the test over the years, and in this video I'll reveal my top 3 overall picks as well as a mid-level and budget pick for 2022. So links in the description, and let's get started. One quick note is that I no longer do sponsored videos or accept free vacuums to review, and all the robot vacuums that won this year were purchased with my own money. We've been collecting a ton of data on pretty much every robot vacuum on the market the last few years, whether we've reviewed them or not, and I realized that having all that data meant that I could come up with a pretty fair way to score robot vacuums if I added in all of our testing data and weighted each category appropriately. So that's what I did this year, and even I didn't know which robot vacuums would win until I added all the numbers up. I started off by scoring the vacuum's actual performance in our various tests. For example, we test suction and airflow of robot vacuums, but I didn't give those categories all that much weight since I have found that some vacuums can have a lot of raw power but not necessarily translate to good performance. So I gave a little more weight to the crevice pickup test and the carpet deep clean test scores, which is where we embed sand into medium pile carpet and weigh the bins after a 5-minute run. Both tests I feel are better metrics to score their actual performance. I did not give a lot of weight to their surface debris pickup performance, mostly because I feel like all modern robot vacuums are pretty similar in their ability to sweep up debris from the surfaces of hard floors and carpet, which is to say they're really good at it, though I did negatively score some of them if they had obvious problems here. One of the biggest differences between cheap and expensive robot vacuums is the way that they navigate around your house. The cheaper ones often use an algorithm to bounce around more or less randomly, and they don't create a map, so they don't know where they have and haven't been in your house, and these random types also have a lot less options in the app. The more expensive robots use cameras or spinning lasers called LiDAR, floor trackers, or a combination of these sensors to create maps and navigate around your house in a more systematic way. I found that in small areas there really isn't that big of a difference between smart and random robots in terms of their coverage or speed. The difference really shows up with larger spaces, especially with regard to making sure the robot cleans the whole house in the same way every time. And as I said, there are many more options in the app with smart robots that are really helpful. One feature that I gave a lot of weight to was obstacle avoidance systems. This is a relatively new thing in the robot vacuum world, where a set of sensors on the front of the robot recognize obstacles and avoid them. I've done all kinds of tests to try to determine how good they are at this, and while I would say that none of them are perfect yet, they are getting pretty close, and some are definitely better than others. Either way, I consider obstacle avoidance systems a big upgrade. I also gave them a lot of points if they had what I call auto empty bins, which is where when they return to their charging docks, they automatically empty the contents of their dustbins into usually a disposable bag, but some have bagless bins as well. I consider this a really nice upgrade too, and it seems like just about every manufacturer is coming up with their own version of this nowadays. Extra points were given if they had a mopping system, which is where the robot will vacuum and mop hard floors at the same time. I scored them mostly based on the type of mopping system they had. For example, cheaper ones will sometimes have a simple gravity-fed tank, and more expensive ones will have electric pumps where you can control the flow of water. Some had spinning or vibrating mop pads, which I scored even higher, but the highest mopping scores were given to those robots that would automatically lift their mopping pads when they sensed carpets, like the new Roomba Combo J7 Plus or the Roborock S7 series. This year there's also been a growing number of premium robot vacuums that not only have auto-empty dust bins, but have bins that automatically wash the mopping pads and refill the mop tanks. Though this type is really expensive, in my opinion it is the ultimate automated experience, and I gave them an appropriate boost in points if they had it. Moving on to the various specs that I considered this year, starting with battery life, which is really important, though not as important as it used to be for premium robots which make maps, because they can return to their base to recharge if they run low, and then after charging, return to the exact spot they left off on the map. But it's still nice to have a big enough battery to do it all in one run if possible. I scored them based on their dustbin sizes. I gave them points if they claimed to have anti-hair wrap brushes or other systems to prevent hair tangles. I negatively scored them if they were were taller than average, since one of the benefits of having a robot vacuum is that they can go under furniture that regular vacuums can't. So if they're too tall, it really is a downgrade. I gave them points if they had dirt sensors. I considered all kinds of app-related features, like if they had no-go lines, which is where you can draw lines or boxes on the map in the app, which prevents the robot from going where you don't want it to go, or what I call room select, which is where you tell the robot to clean only certain rooms. So the big question is, which robot vacuums came out on top this year? And I'll start off with my budget pick, which is the Eufy 30C. If you have a smaller space like an apartment and you don't mind picking up any objects that it might get stuck on before it's run, and you don't need all the fancy features or mopping capability, then the Eufy 30C is about as good as you can get for a budget robot vacuum, and it's a pretty significant upgrade from the very popular Eufy 11S at about the same price. My mid-level price range pick is for the person who wants all the premium features like auto empty bins and obstacle avoidance systems and electric mopping, but doesn't want to pay the price for a premium robot. And my pick for this is the DreamBot Z10. It had incredibly good specs for the price and a lot of premium features, but my top 3 picks overall, based on all this information, are the Roborock S7 Max V Ultra, the Deebot X1 Omni, and the Roomba Combo J7 Plus. But I should say that there was a significant gap between the Roborock S7 Max V Ultra and the others. The Roborock has all the current best technologies, including the lifting mop pad, the Ultra Dock that washes and refills the mopping system, and obstacle avoidance. It has excellent reviews and is the one that I've been using at my house since it came out. Check out the full description section for all the information I mentioned here and more, and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars since it is the season for best of videos, and we have the best cordless vacuum video coming up next. Thanks for watching.